Have you guys ever wondered why basic movements like this leads to an Achilles tear? So this is a graphic of what it looks like when you shred an Achilles. It's caused from that heel kind of just getting stuck in the ground, overextending, and the Achilles shreds. Now that's all true, but there's one critical element that's missing in this graphic, and it's also the same element that contributes to ACL tears. That crucial element is at this phase of the Achilles shred right here. It's that inside ankle. So whenever we tear an ACL or rupture an Achilles, or really any sort of non-contact injury, this is what happens to the inside ankle bone, where it drops lower than the outside ankle bone and the arches of your feet aren't activated. This often occurs from consciously or subconsciously trying to put pressure on the inside edge of your foot, and that's what leads to these non-contact injuries. So this action at the foot level right here is contributing to causing the overextension on the Achilles tendon. So basically when you land like this, the Achilles is even more extended, which increases the chances of a shred. If we want to avoid the chances of landing with that inside ankle bone low and letting that heel kind of get stuck in the ground, you got to train out of an inside ankle bone high position.
I ain't go to class. I'd rather die before I come in last. I ain't felt like this in a long time. I ain't felt like this in a long time. I ain't had shit in a long time. Just to feel like this, it took a long time, yeah. Just to feel like this, it took a long time.
And let's roll the tape. So this is a look at the Tre'Davious White injury from yesterday. Leads with a heel strike, inside ankle bone low. Hate to see it. I originally thought this was an ACL tear. It reminds me a lot of Odell's ACL tear in the Super Bowl a few years back. But the more I look at it, the more you can see that it probably is an Achilles shred. So this diagram pretty much shows you how you use your Achilles on a field. The Achilles shreds when this tendon becomes overextended, and it becomes overextended when the inside ankle bone goes low. So this is what inside ankle bone low looks like. It's pretty much when the arches of your feet collapse and your heel stays stuck in the ground. When that inside ankle bone drops, that's what causes the Achilles tendon to become overextended, because you're essentially pushing it inward while pulling it down. When that motion happens, it's too much and the Achilles gives. More simply put, to avoid this, you need to land with the inside ankle bone high and power through the balls of your feet. So whether it's an Achilles shred or an ACL tear, it's happening from the same pattern. It's a heel strike and it's the inside ankle bone going low. Now I think it's pretty obvious, to avoid the chance of this happening, we want to stay out of our heels. We want to power through the balls of the feet. Now the problem is, in order to move a bar in the most optimal way possible, you have to consciously power through your heels. Replicating conscious behavior over time is going to lead to subconscious behavior on the field. So in other words, when you're powering through your heels in the weight room, you're going to try to power through your heels on the field. When you try to power through your heels on the field, that's what leads to Achilles shreds. That's what leads to ACL tears. I don't care what anyone says, man. This stuff is avoidable. You could train to land with your inside ankle bone high. This is one of the craziest stats I've ever seen. We're not even halfway through the NFL season, and we've already reached the same amount of Achilles ruptures as we saw last season. 67% of them on grass, and 78% of them are non-contact. And by the way, that's 67% with all 4 years combined. So based on what the data tells us, there are significantly more Achilles tears on grass than there is on turf. And there are 18 NFL teams that play on turf, so we're playing on turf more than grass, and the numbers still show that more tears are happening on grass. I'm not saying the grass is the cause at all, but I'm saying all of you guys that live by this theory that the turf is causing non-contact injuries, throw it out the window. It's not even remotely true. Every non-contact injury that occurs happens because of what's called the sensory motor error. So with an Achilles tear, this is what that error looks like, when that heel just overextends and tries to drive to the ground while you're still trying to accelerate forward. The surface of the field does not affect this sensory motor error from happening. This error occurs from subconscious behavior, and the number one effect on subconscious behavior is training. So much of the training that we do in the football world especially, we're literally taught to power through our heels. So when you're powering through your heels in the weight room, you're going to subconsciously power through your heels on the field. When you subconsciously power through your heels on the field, that's what leads to the sensory motor error. We can train to reduce the likelihood of this error happening if you train GOATA. Cam Akers just tore his left Achilles after tearing his right Achilles 2 seasons ago. Anytime you tear both of your Achilles within 3 seasons, there's a reason why it's happening. It's not a coincidence. So all non-contact injuries happen from what's called a sensory motor error. So by definition, this pretty much means that you try to land a certain way and you land in a way that leads to a non-contact injury. So you never try to make a sensory motor error, it's subconscious, it just happens. So the key is to try to influence subconscious behavior. The best way to influence subconscious behavior is through isometrics, specifically GOTA training. So at GOTA, we're literally training your body to move in ways that limit the chances of these sensory motor errors from happening. So when we train out of these positions, you're on the balls of your feet, your inside ankle bone is high, and your knee is in this bow shape because it's the counter to a non-contact injury. So pretty much the longer that we hold positions like this, the more likely you are to land in a way on the field that reduces the chances of a non-contact injury. So Cam Akers is someone whose subconscious behavior clearly needs to be changed because his subconscious behavior has led to him tearing his Achilles twice. And then everyone always gets so puzzled that some people get hurt all the time and then some people never get hurt throughout their career, when it's not a coincidence. It comes down to their movement. Cam Akers lands in ways that increases the chances of the sensory motor error happening. And the most durable athletes of all time had movement patterns that reduce the chances of this sensory motor error happening. Some athletes move well, some athletes move bad. The athletes that move well won't get hurt as much. The athletes that move bad will get hurt more. It's that simple, and you can train movement patterns if you do it the right way.